What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over the Harris Chain breakdown of the Bassmaster Team Championship at the Harris Chain in Central Florida, and exactly what we caught our lures, or exactly what we caught our fish on, what lures we caught the fish on down there at the Harris Chain. Before I get started, if you guys are not a subscriber yet, please hit the subscribe button. Getting closer to hitting a lot of goals, starting to grow more attention, move it in a positive direction. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So what baits did we throw? We threw a bladed jig. We didn't just throw one bladed jig. I dropped it now here. Only got one hand. I won't get into that. I broke my hand, so right now I'm stuck with one hand. So right here is a 2K Jigs sub blade. Those are both the two colors we threw in Florida while we was there. Now, which one was better? Which one was better was this 2K Jigs sub blade, which is a bladed jig. We was throwing it in a 1/2 ounce. We was throwing this color here. I do not know the exact color because it was a special colorway that he ran during a spotlight sale here a few weeks before we ran, or before the tournament started on Lake Harris in the Bassmaster Team Championship. I believe I bought 6 of them in the 1/2 ounce. As you can see there, it's got a little bit of blue mixed in with some shad colors, some white in there, not quite white, more silver and black mixed in. Got a really awesome painted head on it. The actual one I was throwing is actually still in the boat on my rod. Right there's the 2K Jig sub blade. And that was the #1 color for the fish catcher all week. But the biggest fish of the week and the biggest fish of the tournament we had was a 6-pound 10-ouncer that I'd caught. And I just caught that on the shad color, that color right there. You can see this is the actual one. It took a little bit of a beating down there. Luckily there ain't rocks, so it doesn't get scratched up too much down there in Florida. But you can see that one's been around a few times and had a little bit of a beating on it. Good thing is it's still kicking, still going. That one's actually going to stay in my house since I caught that 6-pound 10-ouncer on there. That is actually hanging on the mantle display with the picture of that fish. Weighing it on stage. Now, what trailer did we throw on that? Threw a 3.5-inch Big Hammer Lures swim bait. That guy right there. That color is called Pearly Gates, and the color of that other sub blade is called Shad. That's the color on the 2K Jigs website if you guys want to go order that. Then the Big Hammer, like I said, the 3.5-inch is called Pearly Gates. Now, when I do stick that trailer on there, I don't really worry about cutting the head off unless it gets in the way, which on this one here, it does not get in the way. I would rig it up, but I can't use my other hand at the moment. It doesn't really get in the way too much on there. Now, if you feel it is getting in the way, you just take a pair of scissors, or you can be like me and old school it and just bite a little bit of that head off to get it to line up better on there. Now, why was they eating these colors? They were just eating those colors because they were out chasing the shad. The bigger fish were eating those. If you guys ain't aware, if you've seen the videos, we got 28th place. You can go back and watch the recap on where we caught them at. That's in a whole nother video there. And the other lure, what I talk about all the time, guys, the Big Hammer Ringer Worm. Took it all the way to Florida. June bug, came up big, came in clutch on day 2. That was the clutch bait right there. Might just be a little bitty 4-inch ribbon tail worm. But I'll tell you, if you need to catch fish anywhere in the country so far I've been, from the Midwest to the Southeast, it puts fish in the boat no matter where you are at, guys. So don't be afraid to throw that 4-inch worm. How was I rigging that 4-inch worm up? We was rigging it just on a Texas rig. We caught some in practice on it, played around with it, see what would happen if the vine settled down. Sorry there, guys. I only got the one hand like I'm talking about. The rod does not want to cooperate with me. About got another hook in me, but it'd be all right. Just a 3-aught. 3-aught. A little bit of a wide gap hook there. It's actually one of the ones. It's actually got a little bit of rust from sitting out in the boat in there on it. Make sure it was pegged. That was a big deal. 1/4 ounce weight. 3-aught hook. That had a wide gap hook on it. Not sure if the wide gap mattered, but that's what I had on there. 1/4 ounce with the peg. Make sure the peg was the big difference, guys. The peg, I was throwing it unpegged to start with on day 2. When the fish started slowing down, no wind, day 2, I was throwing it unpegged. Just had one bite. My cousin started throwing his with the peg on it and just started getting bites. I pegged mine and boom, as soon as I pegged mine, 2 or 3 casts later, started getting bit with it. That was the biggest difference, was it being pegged. Why? Because they were deeper in the grass. I'll get into that into another video. What rod was I throwing mine on? Every fish I caught in the Bassmaster Team Championship on Lake Harris was on a 7'4" Vexen heavy Bass Series rod. 7'4", worked great for everything. Even the chatterbait worked perfect for the chatterbait as well. They do sell one that is for a chatterbait. I have not used the one that says it's for the chatterbait, but I know the 7'4" heavy works amazing on that chatterbait. You can feel that thump. Even with the slightest speed, you can still feel that thumping through that grass. Plus, it has a heaviness to get them out of the grass or the heavy cover. That is the rod I recommend pretty much all around so far for everything. I've even used it for a square bill. When one of my crankbaits broke off, I forget what happened at Grand Lake, backlashed a reel. I can't remember what happened. One of the reels quit working. I had to switch it over, put it on a 7'4" heavy, put a square bill on there and went up to cranking and did really good with it too. Put all these descriptions. I'll put all of them in the links. I'll put the links in the descriptions to the videos, and hopefully next time you guys go out fishing, you guys will pick you up some of this gear and catch you some fish. Like I said, 2K jig sub blade. Caught my biggest fish I've ever weighed in a tournament. Biggest fish ever weighed in, 6 pounds, 10 ounces. You can go to YouTube video. You can go watch that video. See how it was caught. That was with that 3.5-inch big hammer in pearly flash. That sub blade was just in the normal color. That is not a special color. That is just on there. It'll be tagged in a link as well, all this stuff, so you guys can see it. It'll be tagged in the description, just shad color. And then the lifesaver on day 2, big hammer ringer worm. Filled our limit, got us in 28th place, took us home with a $1,000 check. Guys, take care.